Hello out there, you wonderful people. This is Andre, the Game Idea Guy. Thank you once again for lending me your time and your ear, listening into another Gamer's Thoughts discussion. And I'm going to be talking about Mass Effect Trilogy and Mass Effect 3 Special Edition. Mass Effect 3 Special Edition was made for the Wii U. It was ported by Tantalus. And Mass Effect Trilogy is obviously on the 360 and the PS3. There are potential rumors about it coming to current gen platforms. So that's a thing. I've recently just played through all of the original Mass Effect Trilogy. I'm not counting Andromeda because I haven't played that yet. But playing through the original trilogy of games, I see why so many people actually did like it. And I understand why when it came down to Mass Effect 3, so many people got upset with the way the ending was cut so short without the additional extended cut features and stuff like that. I get why people were upset with it, because it made, the way it was set up before, it made it feel like it was useless or pointless in order to put all that work into that game. And having played all of them and then seeing that original ending, I see why people were highly upset. So with the extended cut, which is what the special edition is on the Wii U, I really truly do understand why people were so ticked off and upset about that. But getting into that, the world is so vast, it's so full of things that make it feel mostly alive. I mean, it's not like with games like Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, where in that game there's a bunch of stuff going on outside of your character. But the way the game is set up, the way the world is set up, you really do feel like the world is living around you if you continue to push through events. Now, if you just hold up and waste a bunch of time, then you get to really see that, the world is stuck on your dime. It's stuck on whatever you push it to do. But if you're just moving through events, it actually does feel like it's a natural progression. Like the world does feel like it's alive and breathing, and the choices that you make affect it going forward. So again, that's from my own personal play experience. Now, before I played the original two games, I had the special edition for the Wii U. My copy of it got broken. It was an accident. I know it was. Doesn't mean I wasn't upset by it, but it was an accident. Not something I can be too mad about. But I did play this game through to completion on the Wii U. And that was being stuck with that, having to use the Dark Horse Comics book thing that they did in order to pick key story functions to happen. But there are more intricate and smaller things that happen throughout this story that aren't part of the main quest as it would be, that happen in that storyline that aren't available to the Wii U. Like, there's so many smaller things that build up to that you have no way to control any sort of effect on. And I'm pretty sure those functions would still be in the Wii U version of the game. It's just the things that would lead up to making those functions available aren't there because the other two games weren't on the platform. It was just the third game. And that, again, is why a lot of people got upset with EA and BioWare, especially EA, because most of us understand it was EA they were the money hatters behind this. When that game came out for the Wii U, that is, by definition, as far as how the game plays and what's available to it, that is the best version of that game. Unless you've played through the other two games, then content-wise, on both the PlayStation, on both Sony and Microsoft's platforms, and on PC, the game's better because you have more content available to you. And that's the handicap that was given to the Wii U version of Mass Effect 3. And again, I like the series. I really do like the series. I like the world. I like the world that's built up. But when you come in on the last leg of the world that was designed on the Wii U, and again, be charged $60 for that game versus paying $60 and getting all 3 of the games in the series, I understand exactly why a lot of people were ticked off and upset. I truly understand that. Now, had the first 2 Mass Effect games been remade for the Wii U and put out with the 3rd game, or even if the first 2 games were put out as a dual game compilation, at least the option would be there for people to go get the other 2 and then get the special edition 3rd. And then on top of that, none of the additional DLC was put out for the Wii U as far as I know. So that means all the extra stuff like the shore leave stuff that happens in Mass Effect 3 you can't do because it's not available for that platform. And again, that's unfair. That was unfair to that platform and the people that invested in that game for that particular platform. It was a death sentence for that version of the game, even though the functions in that game, like having the gamepad, having the screen, and being able to real-time look at your map, because that's not available in Mass Effect 3. Heck, you don't even get a radar in Mass Effect 3. You just kind of have to, like, if the map is even available, you have to check the map and then chart your course from there. I don't know what made me get stuck. And again, I played it originally on the Wii U. That was my first experience with the series. And I was like, man, this game is really good. Like, it just sucks that it's missing so much other stuff. And if they had taken what they had done with Mass Effect 3 and did it for the first 2 games, giving you that constant screen that could show your status and things down on the gamepad, and being able to use that to locate where you are, see where you're going. If they would have stuck with having that option available, it would have done so much good for Mass Effect as a series. It really would have. And I wish that EA would have done that, because they would have made a major fan base out of they would have made a huge fan base out of the Nintendo fan base if they had put that game series on the Wii U proper. Now that there's the opportunity for them to put it out on the Switch, I feel like it would be great for it to be on the Switch because you get all of the games together. But it's not going to make much difference if they don't put all of the content from all of the games on the Switch for people to be able to get. And I'm sorry when I say, well, I'm not even sorry. There's no reason that EA, once Nintendo rolls those 64 gigabyte carts out, there's no reason that EA and BioWare or whoever they have ported can't get all 3 of those games on that cart. There's no reason. And especially if they go to Nintendo and get help, because Nintendo is awesome at compression, and their compression can be done in a way that really doesn't kill quality of the product. Just look at Resident Evil 2 on the 64 as an example. You got pretty much that whole game smushed into that cart, even though the carts for the N64 did not hold near the capacity of a PS1 disc. And that's the truth. But the game looked better. It ran smoother. The sound quality wasn't as great, but there had to be a trade-off somewhere. They don't have to make that trade-off here. They really, truly don't. And it would behoove EA, if they are going to make this move, put the full product on the platform. Give it everything it's supposed to have. And then with searching missions in Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3, I like the way the search missions are in Mass Effect 1, because you actually have to go down on the planet. There's not a specific objective, but you can search different planets for minerals and things like that. I like that from Mass Effect 1. I really wish that they would have stuck with that. But I understand why they didn't, because it would have, as much as it would have elongated the game for people to play, at the same time it also becomes monotonous. And I understand that. So yeah, the system in Mass Effect 2 where you're mining planets for minerals and you're just sending probes down it makes a crap ton of sense. I fully get it. But if they're going to go ahead and put this game out on the platform, on the Switch, make use of that HD Rumble for stuff like that. When you're searching planets and you're trying to locate an item, utilize the HD Rumble to allow people to home in on stuff where the Rumble will get more intense as you get closer to something, and since how it's designed allows you to feel where something is on the controller, make use of it. Don't squander it, because it will be an awesome thing to add in there, and I know a lot of people will appreciate it. And someone may think I'm crazy for saying this, but you do not, I mean literally, you do not have to mess with the graphics of these games. They look good. Leave the graphics alone. Unless outside of maybe cleaning it up a little bit more, leave it alone. Don't change anything else. Leave it alone. Because we don't need a situation where the updated version of the game is going to end up looking worse than its predecessor on much, much more inferior hardware. And the games look good for 360 era. They do. The worlds, the design of the worlds, the way they look is nice. They are aesthetically pleasing. Leave them alone. Just please leave them alone. That would be what I would say. But I guess it's just like I feel, I can't say I don't feel a little internally salty that the Wii U didn't get the complete trilogy, because I would have loved to play that whole game with the gamepad, being able to use the gyro aiming and stuff like that. And that's something they definitely would have to make sure that they implement if they put it on the Switch. Make it an option. Don't force it, but make it an option for people who want to. Because again, it'll just broaden your audience, especially with Splatoon players. They'll jump right on it. Dual Joy-Con aiming, they'll jump right on it. Just, again, give the options. Put it there for people to be able to play it and to be able to enjoy it. Just do the best you can with it without changing a whole bunch, and actually giving all of the content to the Nintendo fan base. And they'll appreciate it. And trust me, it will line your pockets with a crap ton of money. Say if they did Ultimate Mass Effect Collection or something, Ultimate Mass Effect Trilogy, something like that. That's all they have to do. But it's just like there was a lot of potential wasted for the series for the Wii U that will never be able to be explored now, unless somebody was really going to go back and try to take EA's code and reverse engineer it and then put out a version of it for the Wii U. Now, a slick thing EA could do that I doubt would happen would be to go to somebody and say, we're going to do a special edition limited run of this trilogy for the Wii U, and whoever wants to get it, they'll be able to get it and drop it for $100. You do that, nobody's going to complain. They'll initially say it's too pricey, but then you say, well, you're getting everything, and the engine's been reworked to run on the Wii U and on its hardware, and you're getting all of the games. You're getting everything with them. Trust me, people will drop their complaints very quickly. It would be sneaky and smart, because the Wii U doesn't have any competition to itself anymore. And something dropping for that, especially with the interest that people are taking in the Wii U now, even though they want to pretend they're not, it would be a very sneaky move. But that's my opinion. But that's it. Thank you guys very much for listening. Keep your eyes and ears out for more stuff from me. And until the next time, enjoy your games and peace out.